gold medalist in the 200 meter in the 2012 London Olympics. Now we're here in Rio. It's your 4th Olympics. What are the things you're trying to take in and notice and savor and cherish this time around?
Well, I'm just so grateful to be here, and walking in opening ceremonies is always one of the highlights for me. So I just want to embrace every moment and just really cherish it.
You know, usually we're focusing in on your sport, but right now you see the other athletes and all the other sports that are here. How does it hit you, the enormity of being a part of Team USA?
Just that it's something bigger than yourself. You know, it's so neat to come together with everyone. You see all the different sports, and we're all just excited for this Olympic spirit.
I know you're going to do the 400 meter. That's something to be excited for, but you did have to battle against some ankle injury. So where's your comfort and your health at right now?
It's coming along. You know, I have made it from not even being able to walk to being here, and so I'm just going to give it my all, run with a lot of heart, and I'm feeling pretty good.
What did it take to not be able to walk to now compete in the Olympics?
A lot of therapy, a lot of support, a lot of encouragement, and a lot of prayers. But by the grace of God, I'm here, and I'm excited, ready to compete.
All right, thank you, girl. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, Roz, thank you very much. The opening ceremony of the Rio Games still to come from here in Maracanã. But up next, we'll send it back to the broadcast center to Bob Costas and David Faraday stopping by the studio.
Well, I grew up watching the Olympics every 4 years, and even the Winter Olympics, and I mean, it was never a dream that I was able to have. I mean, I always thought it was really cool that it was the pinnacle of everyone's sport, that this is what they worked for to be here, and to watch them compete, it was amazing. And to hear a few years back that golf was going to be back in the Olympics, I mean, it was kind of a dream come true that I wasn't able to dream about before.
Now, a number of tour players who qualified for their Olympic teams decided not to come. Why was it important for you to be here?
I mean, the Olympics has always been something I enjoyed watching, like I talked about, and what it stands for, and seeing how much it means to these other athletes here, and some of the stories that have happened along the way of great performances. Just seems like a pretty amazing event, and I didn't want to miss out on it.
And you just got in this morning. It's going to be a long day, but what's the Olympic experience been like so far?
It's been awesome. Just been getting checked in, getting the lay of the land over at the village, getting to meet some of the other athletes, and it's pretty cool so far. There's 10 days ahead still.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, Michelle, thanks. Ricky Fowler excited that golf is back in the Olympics for the first time since 1904, I might add, at Glen Echo in St. Louis. That's a little shout out for my homies there. And David Faraday is also happy that golf is part of the Olympics. But apparently some of the world's best players, not so much. They've taken a pass. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think in 50 or 75 years' time, someone is going to look back through the Olympic records and find that maybe their grandfather has an Olympic gold medal. And I think that means a tremendous amount. We always talk about the majors, how important they are in professional golf, but there are 4 of them every year. There's only one of these every 4 years, so I think it's tremendously important. And you know, we wouldn't criticize players; that's their decision. But we've got a very strong field.
So with the majors now recently behind us, we should have a pretty good handle on who's got his A game going. Who do you like in Rio?
Well, you've got to look at Henrik Stenson. The Swedish team will be very strong. The Americans will be very strong, and I particularly like Patrick Reed.
Why?
Well, because he gets his tail up, you know, when he plays underneath the flag. You saw it in Ryder Cup, and it really does it for him. It motivates him, and he's due a good performance. But there's tremendously strong teams from countries all around the world. Most of the world's best players are here, and it's the Olympics. You know, so it's got to be special.
Okay, now stick around for this. One of my favorite shows on the Golf Channel, and I'm not just saying this, is your interview program. Well, maybe so. Ingeniously entitled Faraday. I can just imagine the meetings with the marketing gurus and whatnot to come up with that. Faraday is the name of the show. And it may have been easy enough for you to book me or Al Michaels or even Nicholas or Trevino, because after all, it's the Golf Channel. But 3 presidents, Clinton, Bush 43, and most recently, Barack Obama.
Yes.
And you even asked him about the Olympics. Here it is.
there's so much conflict around the world these days, at home and abroad, and every country, there are 200 countries represented, 10,000 athletes, and everyone wants their athlete to bring home the gold. But is there a larger value for the Olympics, you know, for people around the world?
I really do think there is. I think that the Olympic ideal of every country sending its best to compete in a spirit of goodwill. Yeah, it's not going to end war. It's not going to eliminate poverty or some of the tragedies that we see every day. But it builds a sense of common humanity, a sense of empathy. One of the great things about the Olympics and Olympic coverage is the way they do backstories of the athletes. And so now suddenly you see some young woman in South Africa and what she's had to go through in order to train and compete at this level, or some Lithuanian athlete that, and it transports you into another place. And I suspect that particularly for Americans who sometimes, because we're such a big country, don't always feel as if, unless there's bad news out there, that we need to know much about any place else. It's a nice introduction to the world, and I think that kind of empathy and that sense of healthy competition can, in fact, carry over beyond the Olympics.
All right, a visit to the White House, a conversation with the president.
Yeah.
We know he's a good athlete, basketball player, plays a lot of golf, and enjoys it. But if he had been an Olympian, what sport would he have chosen?
Well, I asked him that question, and I would have picked golf or basketball. Those would have been my guess. But he would have been a sprinter. He would love to have been the fastest man in the world.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah, of course. Primal about that. And like the heavyweight champion of the world, it has a certain ring to it. Usain Bolt wears that gold medal, and there's something even more special about that, I think, because, he's a sprinter.
Yeah, the idea, world's fastest human, just has a certain ring to it. All right, David, thanks. We'll look forward to David's coverage, along with all of his colleagues, of the first Olympic golf tournament in more than a century. It'll be on the Golf Channel. And we also look forward to what's just ahead, and that's the opening ceremony of these Rio Games. We'll return to Rio de Janeiro right after this.
120.
So no milk isn't.
The former country.
Of NBC, coverage of the competition, also the landscape, the excitement, and the energy of Brazil and Rio de Janeiro.
You're in? All right. Yeah, great. What position am I playing and what team am I on?
Oh, Roxy Hawk, rock me. Roxy Hawk.
Isso vai continuar sempre.
Every concept.
31st Olympiad on NBC are brought to you by Coca-Cola. Open a Coke and enjoy the games. By Visa, championing acceptance for over 50 years. By GE, the digital company that's also an industrial company. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
You and I.
Do summer like a Winter Olympian. Have a Reese's. Art or viewing information.
And welcome back, everyone. Matt Lauer, along with Meredith Vieira and Hoda Kotb at Maracanã. South Americans have waited long enough. Brazilians have waited long enough. Cariocas can't wait any longer. Here's the opening ceremony, the games of the 31st Olympiad.
O Rio de Janeiro continua lindo. O Rio de Janeiro continua sendo. O Rio de Janeiro, fevereiro e março. Alô, alô, realengo. Aquele abraço, alô, torcida do Flamengo. Aquele abraço, alô, alô, realengo. Aquele abraço, alô, torcida do Flamengo. Aquele abraço. Chacrinha continua balançando a pança e buzinando a moça e comandando a massa. E continua dando as ordens no terreiro. Alô, alô, seu Chacrinha. Velho guerreiro, alô, alô, Terezinha. Rio de Janeiro, alô, alô, seu Chacrinha. Velho palhaço, alô, alô, Terezinha. Aquele abraço. Alô, moça da favela. Aquele abraço, todo mundo da Portela. Aquele abraço, todo mês de fevereiro. Aquele passo, alô, banda de Ipanema. Aquele abraço, meu caminho pelo mundo. Eu mesmo traço, a Bahia já me deu, régua e compasso, quem sabe de mim sou eu. Aquele abraço pra você que me esqueceu. Aquele abraço para o Rio de Janeiro. Aquele abraço todo o povo brasileiro. Aquele abraço.
Aquele abraço, which means that embrace, written by Gilberto Gil, a love note to the city of Rio.